Hey guys, Omar here in vehicle height restriction, and I'm going to tell you just straight up, I have no height restriction in this Buick Regal. Let me introduce you guys to the 2018 Buick Regal Tour X. I am really excited to actually show you guys this vehicle. I'm going to go ahead and do a quick little review on this vehicle and to show you guys why I love this vehicle so much, and I will definitely own one of these in the near future. But first, real quick, I'm gonna go over what this car really is. Obviously, you see the Buick badge right here, but being part of General Motors, this is actually a rebadged Opel. Now, Opel is not part of General Motors anymore, same as Vauxhall, but it was designed in Germany as the Opel Insignia. It was imported to America as the Buick Regal, and other parts of Europe, well, once was Europe, in England, as a Vauxhall Insignia as well, and in Australia as the Holden Commodore, which I'm pretty sure people in Australia is really pissed off about that, but hey, it is what it is. You got a Holden Commodore. But this body in particular is the Country Tour. In America, it's the Tour X. This is the only import of the wagon we receive. There's actually two models, and I wish we got the second model as well. So this is actually the Country Tour Opel Insignia. And if you want it without the cladding, it's called the Sports Tour, and that's what I really, really want. But this is what we got. I'm gonna use it. It is what it is. Hopefully one day I'll be able to import the Sports Tour, but nevertheless, we also did receive the Sportback model of the Regal. This is a nice little wagon. I like the design of it. Apart from the cladding, I love the headlights. Nice little exhaust tips down over there, which are real. The badge and just everything. It doesn't look too outlandish and doesn't look too boxy. It has nice curves, just everything about it. I love it so much. To unlock the vehicle, let's look at the key real quick. To unlock the vehicle, we got the unlock button. This is traditional just Buick key fob. Unlock, lock, horn. Obviously hit the lock button and hit the remote start. It will do that. So let's go ahead and do that real quick and listen to the exhaust. Nice and quiet burble. Very nice and quiet. I'll talk more about the engine in a second. Now I'm going to unlock the vehicle, and let's look at the trunk real quick. So now you just press it. You got plenty of space. I have my backpack just hooked up right here so that it doesn't move or anything. You can lay down the seats, which I'll do in a second, and you have a nice little divider right here to hide your stuff, if so. Then, if you want, you can actually lower this up like at a different angle. Let me see if I could do it with one hand. There you go. You could prop it up so you can have a little storage space, all that stuff right there. But you can still hide your stuff reasonably well, at least on this side. It's nice having a wagon. This seat right now is in my driver position. That's how I sit. If I want to recline just a little bit, I can and will. But that's just my normal driver position in this vehicle. But one thing that's a problem is usually if I want to lay down the second row, I have to move up my seat just a little bit in minivans and traditional SUVs. But for this thing right here, all I gotta do is just pull this down and lays flat down right there. In my driver position, I'm 6'9". I get to the front in a second. But that's how you can expand the cargo room if necessary, and also other side as well. 60-40 split, very nice. When I key fob is in my pockets, I demonstrate the entry. So obviously the vehicle is unlocked. You want to lock it, press the button right here. I love this about General Motors, just simple and easy. So the vehicle is locked. I'm gonna go ahead and press it again. Unlocks the vehicle, simple, easy. It's Regal. All right, hopping in, 6'9". This is the reason why I love this car, and honestly General Motors in particular. They take really good care of me, especially with legroom department. I am 6'9". My feet are currently behind the pedals. If I take my shoes off, it is just an absolute joy to drive. These seats are so comfortable. I had no back problem whatsoever. I love these cloth seats. I've yet to experience the leather seats in this vehicle. It does have a sunroof option on this model, but this interior is very simple. Nice Bose stereo right there. Go ahead, shut the door. What I'm gonna do now is go ahead and do a quick little startup. With inside the vehicle, put your foot on the brake, hit the button and start. All windows automatic down. The front two are automatic up only. Simple steering wheel, cruise control on the left, all the voice activated stuff right here. Volume, audio, if you want to seek through, change your volume or track whatever, whatnot. Gauge cluster, simple, easy to read. Stupid auto stop that you can't turn off. But again, this is 2018. If this vehicle was still in the market right now, there'll probably be a little button to turn off the auto stop. Probably in the hazard, just like the Malibu. But this generation, this infotainment center right here is my favorite. This is the best you could get, honestly, just my point of view. Not just for General Motors. It's very simple, easy to use. You got your main screen, you got your maps, but it's very simple. Just straightforward Apple CarPlay. Delay on the Bluetooth isn't as bad as like a Uconnect or the old Uconnect systems. It's still a little delay, but it's actually still pretty good as well. Very simple, and you have actual physical buttons and controls for your climate. If I forgot to have the fan on full blast when I turn off the vehicle, I can still turn it off, which is perfectly fine. Love it so much. I know you see this one little water bottle right here, but you do have two more cup holders down over here as well. Just a note, but it does kind of get in the way. Well, not kind of, it is in the way of the controls if you have a bigger bottle or whatever, whatnot. But you have a nice big mug, it'll fit right there. You got an 8-speed automatic gearbox. This is all-wheel drive, and I'll get more to the powertrain in a second. What is this? Vehicle has an update installed in 10 minutes. No, not right now. So let's go to the powertrain just real quick. Before I go to the powertrain, I just want to note something. For some reason, usually in most cars, if you want to keep the fog lights on, then it'll stay on. But every time if you turn on and off the vehicle, you have to press on the fog lights yourself. As you get kind of used to it, you don't need the fog lights every night, but that was just kind of weird and something kind of to note as well. All right, let's check underneath the hood real quick. Thankfully, it is hydraulic, so just lift it up. And here we have a 2-liter inline 4 turbocharged. Now, excuse me if I get too emotional when I say this, but this is the best 4-cylinder that General Motors has ever made. It is so quiet, no vibration. It is the Ecotech. Yes, you may have some bad experience with previous Ecotechs, but in this application, it is just so smooth. Not only just the wagon, also the Sportback as well. 250 brake horsepower. In the Tour X, you have 295 foot-pounds of torque. Now, in the Sportback, you have 260 foot-pounds of torque. This has actually made it to 8-speed automatic, and I can't believe I actually didn't mention it. It's actually all-wheel drive. You can only get the Tour X in all-wheel drive. The Sportback, front-wheel drive only. But again, that's how we got this vehicle, so it is what it is. Very nice and quiet. I love this. If Rolls-Royce made a 4-cylinder, I doubt it's gonna be this smooth. And that's actually really sad because how quiet this thing is. Actually, let me go ahead and start up. And let's just talk while it's running. Because if you remember my GMC Acadia video, how loud and just, that thing was just horribly, it was just rattling. But how quiet and smooth it, I mean, this is how quiet it is. Close the hood. Very nice and quiet. The Chevy Blazer, GMC Acadia, the Cadillac XT4, whatever has the newest version of this engine, it's just horrible. It sounds horrible. It sounds cheap. It sounds like something like it came from early examples of 2008, honestly. A little bit. Put it into drive and let's roll. Wheels don't shake. Upon hard acceleration, you don't get any type of wheel spin whatsoever. Going around corners when it's wet, cold, you don't get sideways or anything. But I will give a nice little acceleration real quick. Not an official 0 to 60, but I will just go ahead and just punch it and let's see how it does. So I just hit 50 miles an hour right there. Very nice and smooth acceleration, no drama whatsoever. And the engine was very quiet. I had the windows down, so I'm not sure it was too much wind buffeting, but it is what it is. This car does do something weird, which there's no owner manual in the glove compartment. But when you're churning, there's a little green little circle that appears. And if you apply throttle, it occasionally shows up. I'm not sure why it's not showing up now, but it's not doing this, there we go. It has a little green circle right there. I'm not for sure what that means. I'm not for sure if it's just a differential just moving around. It's really weird. I don't think there's anything wrong with the car in particular. But if you guys know what that means, please let me know in the comment section below. All right, well, with that done, let's go ahead and get on the highway real quick and talk a little bit more about the powertrain. Powertrain is so smooth. In the Sportback, I did notice a few rough shifts with the 9-speed automatic gearbox. With this 8-speed, it's very nice and smooth. These Continental tires, they just glide along the road. It absorbs the buffs very smooth. The shocks, the spring, just everything is very nice and comfortable. Approaching the highway with nearly 300 foot-pounds of torque, the engine, as you can tell, is really quiet. Only reason I'm talking loud is just so you can hear me on my phone. But the engine is spinning at nearly 3,000 RPM. Look, you don't hear it. Look, 3,000. Keep it up. You don't hear it. Almost 3,500 RPM. You don't hear it. Only thing you do hear is a little bit of wind noise from the windshield. But listen, 90 miles an hour. Quiet. Listen, guys, I've driven multiple 2-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged engines. I mean, every manufacturer has them. Audis, Mercedes, General Motors, Ford, whatever, you name it. This is by far, as in me, Omar speaking, as in October 2022, one of the best 4-cylinders ever that I've experienced. Now, in the Sportback, it is down 35 foot-pounds of torque. But you also have to remember, it's a 9-speed automatic gearbox, and it is front-wheel drive. So you don't have a differential going to the rear wheels, adding more weights, taking away some power. The Sportback is actually faster than this. And you also have the exact same engine, which is also still quiet. Upon hard acceleration, if I just give it some gas, it rarely even goes to 6 grand. You don't need it to go to 6 grand. It usually stays between 4,000. It probably gets 4,200 RPMs. But it's in that perfect power band. You don't need to stress out this engine at all, whatsoever. And that's why I love this thing. Quiet, smooth, and refined. Yes, I love a big, lazy LS3 V8. I will love that thing. But if I'm doing this is all I need. Good gas mileage as well. All right, third time's the charm, hopefully. I come to a complete stop and still no auto stop. Wow. Okay, never mind. I'm not gonna make it do auto stop. But let's just say if you come to a complete stop, all right, or as you're approaching a dead stop, what you want to do is go ahead and throw it to manual mode while you're still coasting, okay? So then when you do come to a complete stop, you stopped. And if you're at a long red light, and you know it's gonna be a long red light, go ahead and do this. Go ahead and apply the parking brake, because this vehicle does not have auto hold. A lot of GM cars don't have auto hold for some reason. Okay, so the vehicle still hasn't turned off because for one, you're in manual mode. And two, since you have the auto hold, your foot's off the brake, so the vehicle's not just gonna turn off. So go ahead and throw it back into drive. Your foot is still off the brake, okay? So it's not gonna be an auto stop. Your parking brake is on, electronic parking brake. And there you go. That's how you can turn off auto hold. So then you're still in drive, just hit the gas, and you're going on about your days. If it's a nice, beautiful, sunny day like it is right now, and you're driving along, this chrome piece around the gear lever, if the sun targets it, you better have your sunglasses on. I mean, that's the only really drawback I have of this vehicle. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is, of course, the worst part of the video because this is the last night I'm actually going to have with this Buick Regal Tour X. It's really sad, but yet again, got to move on. This gave me enough motivation to go ahead and hopefully save up to get one of these, maybe in white. Grateful, very grateful to actually review this car and have it for a very extended period of time. As you guys can see, I am recording off a new phone, iPhone 12. I know the 14 is out by now, and whenever you watch this video, maybe the 15, 16 may be out. But this iPhone 12 is actually pretty good. I am not sponsored by Apple, but onto the review and closing statements of this car. So the problem and the issue with this thing is, since it's very rare and unique, you may run into issues of parts on this thing. Yes, it is a 2-liter Ecotec General Motors vehicle, but yet again, it's not going to be the same Ecotec in every single last vehicle. There may be a sensor or two that may be off, which you may have to know which part it is, do a little research, where to get it, probably have to import it. I hate to stress you out, but that is just the reality of this thing. This is an all-wheel drive sedan. There's no other all-wheel drive GM product that we have in the modern day today. So if something goes wrong with that, with the differential, whatever, I'm not for sure what's going to happen or what you need to do. So keep that in mind. We're not in Europe where these things were mass produced as an Opel or even a Vauxhall. So that's the downside of this vehicle. The upside, to me, you don't have to be a very tall person to actually enjoy this vehicle. I praise this car a lot because, again, I'm 6'9", and I don't have any height restrictions driving this thing. And not only was it comfortable, it's really refined. I do find it as a more of a premium vehicle versus the likes of a Chevrolet Malibu. See, that Buick badge does mean something. So General Motors is doing something right with rebadging to as a Buick. This is the first Buick product that I can see as a better alternative to a Chevrolet. And sadly enough, it's not really a Buick. But again, Opel was once a part of General Motors. That's how it works. Opel GM is a GM product. GM engine, GM engineering. That's how it is. The main reason why it's refined too is that engine I keep talking about, 2-liter turbo. Of course, they still make that 2-liter turbo in today's GM products. But if you get into a 2022 or greater, if they still make them, Acadia with a 2-liter 4-cylinder, Chevy Blazer, Cadillac XT4 with the same 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo, you just hear a weird rattling sound. This doesn't have it. This is just excellent. As you saw earlier in the video, cruise at 90 miles an hour, engine almost spinning at 3,000 RPM. I didn't hear a whisper from that engine. The handling is great. It's not a BMW 3 Series, but it grips the road really well, especially with these Continental tires. Go ahead and take a chance with this. Hopefully I will in the future as well. This is Omar for Vehicle Height Restrictions, and thank you so much for watching my video. And I'll see you next time.